Okay guys, so my channel is just now getting started. I don't really have anything interesting up just yet, but hopefully that's about to change. I've got to immediately hop to it, and I have to finish building my computer. So we're going to start off with a build log. Now you can't see the computer very well right now. I'll take some pictures for you. It'd be a lot easier that way, and I'll just show them up on the screen. But right now it's pretty dismal. It's kind of just hung together with zip ties in a dream, if you know what I mean. But I've got a whole bunch of parts I've got to get 3D printed, designed, put together, and it should come out really interesting. I'll probably split it into parts. It'll be a lot simpler that way. Who knows? I might just put it all in one video. But today is Saturday. It's 10:30 at night, and I have until Friday to finish it. Friday. That's less than a week for a whole custom build with parts that I still have to design and manufacture. That's going to be a heck of a challenge, but we're going to give it a shot, and hopefully it'll come out cool. So I just kind of moved over here so you can see what I'm talking about. You can see what I mean now about zip ties in a dream. If you see the back, that radiator, it's kind of just sitting on a cardboard box and held up with zip ties at the top. This fan is just zip tied to the graphics card. Not great for two 980 Ti's. All the hardware is in here. All in here works, and I mean it all kind of works, but it doesn't look very pretty, obviously, right now. I can't even get the case walls on. So things are going to be changing a bit. I'm going to migrate all my data over to my network server, and we'll get building. These are the parts that I'm going to be putting into this case, minus the, of course, main components. What you're seeing here is me going ahead and getting started on some of the design for the 3D parts I'm going to need for this case. Now, what I'm using an Inwin 904 case, which is this really neat looking case, but the problem is it doesn't really fit anything in there very well at all. So what I have to do, I have to modify some things to make it fit, and I'm using a custom loop, and I have to make reservoir mounts that will fit in this case. The ones that come with it just simply won't mount in there. And another big thing I'm doing is I'm using Zalman resorators. I'll show a picture here. Now, they're a bit crap. They don't really work all that well, but the actual radiator looks really, really interesting just on its own. And this kind of gaudy finish on the outside of it, I don't much like it. So I'm going to change this up. I'm going to print it in black, and it'll be gloss black. And this mount will go on the front of my computer, at the bottom in the opening in the 904 case, and then two in the back. And I'll make custom fan shrouds, and I'll make a custom backplate that this will all mount to, because the backplate that's there already won't fit. The other goal I had was I needed to add some graphics card support. The graphics cards are very heavy. I'm using two 980 Ti's, and having them in this case, they're supported by the PCI backplane, and they also have the SLI bridge, and that does help support them, but they really just needed a bit more. You see, I'm going to be transporting this case, and in transport, when you're bouncing around on a dolly or two-wheeler or whatever you're going to use to move it, like I am at QuakeCon, which is the whole point of this build, is to take it to QuakeCon, then you really kind of jostle those cards around, and that's a really dangerous thing to be messing around with the most expensive parts of your whole computer. But back to what's happening in front of us. This is my 3D printer running, and this is printing off this front mount for that resorator. Now, I might have not mentioned this earlier, but the resorator, all I'm using is that radiator. That's the only thing I care about. Everything else I'm literally just tossing out, or, well, more accurately, putting away to use for something else, probably not on a computer. But I'm going to so much trouble to do these 3D prints because it allows me a lot more flexibility. I can put this anywhere in my computer that I want to put it, and I can make it look exactly the way I want it, and it allows me just a much greater creative freedom, I guess would be the right word. Well, this first part just wrapped up, and this is what it looks like as it's finished here, and after a little bit I kind of have to remove the support material. That's what all those jagged bits are, and then it comes out looking about like this. This is for the front radiator, or resorator I suppose you could say. Now this isn't all. Next part will show you the rest of the parts. I'm recording this after the fact, so what'll probably happen is I'll put everything into one big video for the rest of the build, and then I will finish off with one final video just exhibiting what it looks like as a final product. So look forward to doing that, and hopefully you guys should like it.